Hello again, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world, and today we're going to learn what like terms are, and then we're going to learn how to add and subtract them. So what I want you to get out of this is I want you to understand and recognize like terms, and then be able to add them and to subtract them. So like terms are terms, so we know what term is, that have the exact same sequence of pronumerals. So I'm going to illustrate this with some nice fruit now. So let's say for lunch today, I have an apple and 2 bananas. Now remember though, I can represent an unknown number with anything I want. So, even though I'm having this apple for lunch, perhaps it represents an unknown number. These 2 bananas, they represent different unknown numbers, okay? So, what am I getting at with this? What I'm saying is apples and bananas, they're different, right? If I had an apple and 2 bananas, you wouldn't add them together and say I have some apple 2 banana stew or something like that. You would just say I have 1 apple and 2 bananas. And that's why we have this idea of like terms. We can only add and subtract things that are alike. Okay? I can add the 2 bananas together and say I have 2 bananas and 1 apple. But I actually can't add together apples and bananas because it doesn't make sense. Like terms have the exact same sequence of pronumerals, okay? So I'm going to give you some examples of like. Okay, so remember, pronumeral just means letters, okay? So when I say 2 terms are like terms, they have the same sequence of letters. And when we say like, we mean alike. The terms are alike. Okay, so some examples. So x and 4x. They are like terms and I can add them together or subtract them. They're like terms because they both have an x in them. So the same sequence of letters. They have one x and only one x. So any 2 numbers are like terms. So 3 and 8, I could have chosen 20 and 200. They're like terms because they have the same sequence of letters. They have no letters in them, okay? Some other examples. So let's say I had a term AB. I can represent an unknown number with 2 letters if I want. I can use whatever I want. So AB and 12AB. They would be like terms. But guess what? I can actually change the order of letters because when I multiply things together, the order doesn't matter. So remember, 4 times 3 equals 3 times 4. So BA and say 7AB are like terms, even though they have a different order, okay? Another example of like terms, let's say I had y cubed and 20y cubed, okay? So they both have y's in them to the same power, power of 3. The 3 up here, as you should remember, it means how many times you multiply something together. Okay, so y cubed means y times y times y. So both of these terms here have 3 y's in them. So let's look at some unlike terms. Okay, so x and y. Similar to what I said with the apples and bananas, they're not like terms. They're totally different letters. They represent different things. Something that may shock you, though, is x and x squared are not like terms because x squared means x times x. So it's actually got 2 x's in them, okay? So not only do you have to have the same letters, you have to have the same powers. So if I have AB and I know a squared b, they're not like terms, okay? 4 and 4z. They have the same number, same coefficient, but they're not like terms because one of them has a z, one doesn't. So like terms have to have the exact same sequence of pronumerals. I hope you've enjoyed the video. This has been the luckiest teacher in the world. Have a wonderful day.